Welcome, everybody. My name is Nick, a longtime football fan whose wife finally convinced me to turn our game day debates into a podcast.
And I'm Dawn. I may have married into the football life, but I can hold my own on Sundays. And
And we
we are
are
the
the
Gridiron
Gridiron Couple.
Couple.
Welcome to the Gridiron Couple, where love meets the line of scrimmage.
I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited that football season is back. It has been gone way too long. It always feels like it's a lot longer than it actually is. But before we get started talking about that football season that's coming up, let's find out when you started getting into football.
Let's see. I got into football when I was young. I remember the first time watching football was around 96, 97 when I was real young. 97 to 98 was the back-to-back Super Bowls for the Broncos.
Yeah.
That's what really got me into football, and I watched it. I loved it. John Elway days, Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp, Rod Smith. It just got me into football so much, and I've loved, the Broncos, and obviously, as we can see, I just got so locked into it that I would watch it and I would follow it, even when I wasn't, obviously we all did, you know.
Yeah. But you grew up in Colorado, which is why you're such a Broncos fan.
Yes, because obviously my parents watched it and everything. Shout out to my parents. But they watched it. They watched it down the street with the neighbors and stuff like that. And I fell in love with it. So did my brother. We fell in love with it, and then eventually we started. My parents put us into football. We loved football, but we liked doing other things too. But we loved football. We've always followed football. And then that's why now, like until these days, it's big in my household. Obviously with us as well. And you're a big college fan as well, more than NFL. I'm bigger on NFL. I like college. I dabble in it. I like it. I like all football. But and she likes NFL as well. But yeah, that's my kind of my football background, where it came from. So how did you get into football?
I got really into it once I started dating you, but like I watched it growing up.
Mm-hmm.
My family was more baseball, little league. I had, 6 brothers, but we weren't all, there's such age gaps between us that we weren't all in the same house. So a lot of it was just baseball growing up. But I lived in Michigan. Our family were Wolverines fans. That's why I picked up Wolverines. But I didn't start really following football until right around the time we met. Yeah. Like I've watched Super Bowls, but I didn't watch full seasons.
Yeah.
I'd go to the Super Bowl parties to hang out, drink with friends, but I never really got into it until we met. And then it's just something that brings us closer. We bond over, we argue over.
Yep, them are debates.
I mean, he has slept on the couch more times than I can tell you because of our arguments over football.
So the couch is pretty comfy.
Yeah, but I am more into college. I just think it's more, I wouldn't say respectful, but these college players are fighting for their chance to be in the NFL. They're trying to prove themselves, and they still prove themselves in the NFL, but not everybody makes it to the NFL in college. Once you're in the NFL, you're pretty much in. You still have to fight for your spot.
Yeah.
And, make sure you're doing good by your team and everything, but college is just more.
Yeah, in which I think obviously we'll get into that. I think we'll get into that a little later about, pet peeves and stuff like that, because we all have our pet peeves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, other than that, because like you said, when we got together, because I remember a funny thing when we got together, with you wearing a New England Patriots jersey to the house back then, and she got some crap for it.
I never owned a Patriots jersey.
I'm pretty sure you
did. I came to your house wearing a Champ Bailey jersey because I was trying to impress you. And Bailey let me borrow it because her last name
that's
was Bailey.
Right. And then you said you were a New England fan.
But I told you I rooted for the Patriots.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, and then she said she was a New England Patriots fan, and everyone's neck just turned like, what? And it was pretty funny. But then I think from then on, obviously she watched Broncos games and she fell in love with the Broncos. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a forced thing. You better, because everyone can pick their own teams. I have friends that have teams, that live in Colorado their whole lives. They're Raiders fans,
we
but
won't go there.
yeah. People, if they're watching, they already know I'm talking. But Raiders fans, San Fran fans, they, all over. You know what I mean? People that are Bears fans, Packer fans. I have friends that they're from all over, but they're from Colorado. You know what I mean? Or they're actually from that state, but they're a lot of them or resided in Colorado their whole lives, or they were born there. So you get that everywhere. That's great. I love seeing not everyone, just because you're from that state doesn't mean you have to like that team. You fall in love with the players, and who you like. There's people that have multiple teams. You know what I mean? Or they like more than one team, but then some that they like one more than the other. It happens. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, take me for instance. I was born in Michigan, but I moved to Florida when I was 4.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from the year that I spent in Colorado where I met you, I've lived in Florida my entire life. And I'm still going for a team that, for the state I was born, but I was a baby.
Yeah.
Our Florida teams, some of them are okay. I mean, the Bucks are pretty decent.
You're getting bad.
Miami Dolphins are pretty decent. Jags are, depends on the day. But, Florida doesn't have bad teams, but I choose to represent what's close to my family and, where I'm from. Same with him. He represents where he's from.
Yeah, I'm Denver all the way, baby.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, it kind of said no. Everything I really haven't got into that much was, like I said, I dabble in college now. There's only one team that I kind of, I said I'm gonna start kind of looking and following, which is Texas. You know what I mean? They're a good team, but Colorado's football program's kind of lately since Prime got there and everything. I feel like it's just more hype behind it, and got the names behind it. They went okay and everything, but I wasn't following that much. I was watching it, but I wasn't following because there was too much hype behind it. Now, you want to talk about Travis Hunter, a dog. He deserves all of his flowers. That guy is a dog.
Yeah.
But we can get into we're definitely going to get into a little bit of college and stuff like that. But obviously, this episode we're working into week 1 of preseason. I mean, what our thoughts are and everything like that, which we'll
who the teams are going to be to look out for this year, who we think. These are all predictions. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, nobody does. This is all predictions based on what we've watched in previous seasons, what we've learned from the draft, watching college, the rookies, and who to look out for and everything. So, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. So do we want to dive into the college aspect of this?
Well, we can absolutely dive into the college aspect. I guess what we can do is, what I'm thinking is, how about give me your top 4? What do you think your top 4 is going to be this year for college?
Oh man, I mean, Texans were looking pretty good this year.
Texans? See, this is where I gotta.
Texas.
There we go.
I did that last time. Remember,
Yes,
I made a comment on a Facebook post, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the Texans," because I meant Texas.
A lot of teams, they all blur together.
Yeah. Texans, same state. Okay.
Oh, there's a lot of teams in that state. All right.
Texas.
All right, so you got Texas. Texas is what, number 1 for you?
They're up there.
Okay.
Cool. I will give them maybe number 1.
You are you sure after all your spots you want to give them number 1, or you want to put? Give me your order number 1 down to 4.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm liking Oregon for number 1.
Oregon's a good pick.
I think Oregon's going to be number 1 this year.
Okay. All right. So
definitely think Oregon.
You got Oregon winning it all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What's number 2 for you?
That will be Texas.
Okay. Texas, good pick.
And then I'm gonna go Georgia.
All right.
And then LSU.
LSU. All right. Those are
my top 4
might be a
this
controversial pick, but that's a good pick. Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, I feel like mine are going to be pretty similar. Me personally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Texas.
For number 1.
I'm gonna go Texas number 1, winning it all. Probably again. These are my picks. You guys in the comment section, you guys can throw down your guys' picks. Let us know your picks. But me personally, and you can debate with us about it. You think our picks are trash? That's fine, but that's why they're called our picks. Okay? So listen, I think I'm gonna go Texas number 1. Okay, and the last one probably might.
No, you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you.
No, I'm saying the last one. You probably okay. We'll get to that. Oh gosh. So number 1, I'm gonna go Texas. Number 2, Oregon. Okay, so like I said, ours are going to be pretty similar. Number 3, me, it's a toss-up between Alabama and Georgia, but I'm going to put Georgia in there. I think they're an all-around better team. But then, I think last team. Actually, I'm going to switch. Hold on here. Let me turn this back. I'm going to go number 1, Texas. Okay. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Oregon. 4, Ohio State.
I'm sorry, what?
Ohio State.
Blech.
I know she's a Michigan fan. I know they're just in the middle of rebuilding.
He
If
just
they
earned another spot on the couch tonight.
okay, listen though. The only reason I say that the team is Michigan is rebuilding. If they were the team,
That's why
they
they're
did
not in my
beat,
top 4.
but they did beat. Like you said, yes, they are rebuilding. But they did beat Ohio last year. They did beat the team that won.
Yeah.
Without without anybody on the team really. But again, if when they're rebuilding and they are a little bit better, I would probably put Michigan over Ohio State for sure. But as in next year, talking about next year, we'll see. But I got Ohio State.
My only concern with Georgia is Beck transferred
Don't matter. They're there every year.
to Miami. They are there every year,
They're
yes.
there every year. They're
But
a
their
team.
top quarterback
They're still a team to watch out for.
went to Miami. So, and not Miami Dolphins. He went to the Hurricanes. He transferred. So I'm
Okay.
curious to see how Georgia's going to do without their top quarterback this year.
Yeah, I mean that's a beautiful football though.
Okay, side note, does anybody else think that Georgia's coach looks like, and now his yeah, I can't think of his darn name, Alec Baldwin. He looks just like Alec Baldwin. Every time I see him, I think that. Side note, just a little.
Who?
Georgia's coach. He looks just like Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I mean I can see it a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean I can see it a little bit. Is that what everyone's talking about? And all the girls are talking about. He looks like Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I don't know if other girls are, but that's my take. He looks just like him.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know a lot of girls that are into football like I am.
Yeah, that is. I mean, there is quite a few. You've been
There's quite.
surprised.
I
There's
just
quite a
haven't
few.
met them personally. For me.
There is quite a few. There is quite a few. But as we get into, obviously, it's a little short on the. I think we go a little short on the NCAA side.
Yeah, because, their
because we
season doesn't start for another couple weeks.
Yeah,
we have
August.
preseason starting
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Huh? Is it tomorrow?
It is tomorrow,
Wow.
July 31st.
Holy moly! Man, that's coming up fast.
Tomorrow.
Holy crap!
Yeah. All right, now that we've talked a little bit about college, let's talk about those rookies that came out of college last year and joined the NFL.
Okay. All right. So what we can do is I can give you a little. How about a little? Not necessarily a quiz, but let me ask you how you're thinking about certain people, and if I miss someone in the comments, you guys can drop the name in there and put your thoughts about how those players will do and sit in if we forgot anybody. But we're kind of just go off like the top ones that were a lot talked about. Might be personal to us. You know what I mean, or something like that we think are going to be good players that are going to sit well in the NFL or might not sit well in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right. So what about obviously we're going to go with the number 1 draft this year, which is Cam Ward.
Out of Miami.
Out of Miami, and he's going to the Titans.
Yep. He
So-
is with the Titans.
Yes.
Yes.
So, do you think he's going to start over Will Levis?
Start. I mean, we're gonna have to see how preseason goes, whether or not he's gonna start. I don't
Exactly.
think Will Levis has done his job as quarterback. I think Cam Ward was a great pick for them. They've struggled with the quarterback department for years. I think Cam could bring a lot to that team.
Yeah.
It's all going to be
Okay.
determined in preseason, but it's
Okay.
very possible he could start.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. But I will say Will Levis, I think he was a little underrated. He did okay.
Yeah.
He needs more of a team around him because he did all right. I wouldn't call him a dog by any means. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when the quarterback I think is good, them are dogs.
Right.
So I think, but yeah, again, preseason we'll see how. I think they're going to be on a we'll see basis. Let them play.
Yeah.
Let them get play time. See if they're going to start him. They might not even start him. Man, just sit behind Will Levis and see how he.
How the season goes.
Yeah, how the season goes. Okay.
Yeah, very true.
Now I think Abdul Carter. I don't know exactly where he came out of. Abdul Carter.
He came out of Penn State.
Penn State. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's going to
Giants.
Giants. Okay. So how do you think he's going to sit with the Giants? What he can offer the Giants?
I think he will benefit the Giants. I know the Giants have struggled really bad with defense over the last
I mean, he's a pass rusher.
several
so-
years.
I mean, pass rusher. It'll definitely help him on that side. So it allows kind of choke the ball. Get him sacking the QB, get him a little riled up.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not really much on defensive end side because It all depends on how they play. And yeah, I mean, preseason's preseason, but usually, usually your defensive players usually will start. It's a little harder for like quarterbacks and running backs to get that starting position.
Right.
Depends on how bad they're doing on that position on like defense, defensive end, linebacker,
Yeah.
cornerback. Cornerback's a little, obviously that's a little, there's a lot of good cornerbacks out there, but they'll probably sit them in second string, let them sit behind a veteran. But even a pass rusher sometimes, depending on the pass rusher who it is. But
Yeah.
I think Abdul Carter will sit in well there.
I think so. Absolutely.
Now another big one that came out, which I personally like this one.
Yeah.
I don't like the team he went to, which is Ashton Genty. Dude, that kid is a dog. Yes, he is a dog. I think he's gonna. I mean, he's definitely gonna help the Raiders. Not when they play us, but they will. They'll definitely help the Raiders. You know what I mean? Obviously, I got a lot of friends that are Raiders fans, but
I still want to call the Raiders the Oakland Raiders.
Oh yeah, it's instilled in my blood.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for the Rams. I always want to call them St. Louis. Another thing, the Commanders, I still call them the Redskins. I don't, you know what I mean? But
yep.
I'm trying my best to keep it what they are now in the Rams. You know what I mean? I mean the Rams, now the Raiders, and then obviously the Commanders. It's a little hard for me, but
And the Chargers too. The Chargers changed. They were like San Diego, now it's Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's just too much.
I'm just gonna call them the Chargers and the Raiders.
Yeah.
And the Rams.
Just stick with their original name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so yeah, Austin Genty. I think he's going to be a breakout player in the Raiders. I think he's going to be the one that, between him and obviously we're going to need Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is one of my top fantasy picks last year. I had him on fantasy. He is one of the best rookies tight ends to come out of the NFL or out of the college.
And he would be one again to put on your fantasy roster this year.
When we get to that part of the fantasy thing, man, he's been one of my best tight ends that I picked up, and I took a risk on him, and it was the best risk. You know what I mean? But again, I think those two are going to be the troublemakers, and with the Raiders, because obviously the Broncos fan this, and we're going to have to shut down. So,
I mean, we've got a pretty good lineup this year, so it's very possible, especially with the way Bo Nix was last year.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Bo Nix, but obviously we got to rely on our defense for them to kind of shut Brock Bowers, and then down they got Geno Smith now, which is way better quarterback than what they had. So I think they're going to be a team. I wouldn't say look out for. Don't the Raiders, but I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. Not better than the Broncos, but all right. So I think sorry, I'm even talking about no Raiders or Broncos. I don't,
that rivalry.
Yeah. So Tiratona McCullen.
Yeah, from Arizona.
Am I saying it right? McCullen?
McMillan?
No, that's not McMillan, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
First name I can't pronounce. Don't ask me how to pronounce that one.
I tried. Probably chopped it, but I tried. But he's out of Arizona, and he went to the Panthers.
Yep.
And how do you think he's going to sit? Do you think he's going to? It says wide receiver spot. So how do you think he's going to do with the wide receiver spot? That's hard to fill.
It is hard to fill. I think it's going to take him some time to find his spot, find his groove, get in the swing of things. But overall, I think he can be a player to look out for this year.
Okay, but I'm trying to think, because the last person that they drafted, they drafted the receiver from Ohio State. He was the son of Marvin Mims Jr. No. Marvin Mims Jr. is Denver, not Marvin. Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting Mims mixed up because he's good. But no, yes, Jones Jr. He was good. He was a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
But now he was a little quiet last year. But I think he's settling in. I think he will, have to sit and try to. He's definitely not gonna get the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 spot. But I think he'll settle in. I think he'll settle in there nice. But a lot of these picks, I think they're gonna settle in. But there is one again that I know we don't have to talk much about, that I think is going to be an absolute dog in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. Both sides of the ball.
100%. I know where you're going with this.
And Travis Hunter. I think he was one of the best picks besides, him, me, obviously Genty and him. I think were the two best to come out of this is my opinion now. I think they were the two best to come out of the college this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd add
Cam
one
Ward,
more to that list, but
Cam Ward, I think he will sit in nice, but I think I think it's a lot of quarterbacks that come out personally. I think when college, they're trying to fight for their spot. But when they get here, it's a whole nother level when they get to NFL. It's a whole nother level. and that's why a lot of quarterbacks don't make it because it's hold on, you're playing against the best of the best. I can get NFL can be a little
Yeah.
a little little patted, a little pat on the butt, taken care of. Players a little. You're not getting the hits like you do in college. You're getting a lot of calls. It's not as what it used to be, but it's still fun to watch.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, the calls. Go ahead.
yes, and the calls. It's terrible. A lot of people being protected. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But Travis Hunter, I don't think that kid needs no introduction. That kid is an absolute dog. Can play both sides of the ball. Got drafted as a cornerback instead of a wide receiver. Now, if they never get an injury, you can always place him on wide receiver and let him play.
Yeah.
For plays and stuff. He's
Put him in
actually
where
a
he's
very
needed.
expendable
I think he's
person.
very
Yes.
agile. So
Yes. So obviously he needs no introduction. He had one of the most hype this year in the draft. So what about this one is a little home for you. What about Mr. Loveland, tight end from
Colston.
Yep, and he's going to the Bears.
I'm not a Bears fan. Not a huge Bears fan. They're good, but I love me some Colston Loveland.
Yeah.
He was one of my top players in Michigan. I think he's going to do great for the Bears. I wish he was on our team. Wish he was on the Broncos, but
we did get a good tight end from the free agency, so we'll take.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think we traded for him, but we'll take Ingram all day.
I do think Colston is going to make his mark in the NFL for sure.
Okay. Yeah, and with the Bears, you know what I mean. The Bears need it. You know what I mean. I'm not saying they're a bad team by any means. Caleb Williams, towards the end of the season, started setting in well. He did. And that's scary.
He did.
Because he can move. That boy can move. You know what I mean? For all your Bears
Yeah.
fans out there, you know what I mean? I don't ever talk shit about the Bears. I know Bears been struggling. Shit. My Broncos have been struggling for years. They have. We go on our moments. We go on our little hot streaks and then we die down. It happens. But
Everybody's got that.
I'm along for the ride.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But same thing with Broncos or Bears fans. They're same thing. They're loyal fans. Yeah. But I think they need it. A good tight end position to play in that. Hit those nice little post routes in the middle. Can bring that ball down the field, drive that ball down the field in little third down situations. Have a big guy in there.
Yeah.
I think they'll set him well for them.
What do you think of the Broncos picking up R.J. Harvey from UCF?
I like it. Do I think he's going to definitely take our running back RB1? Probably not. I think Sean Payton's going to definitely rely still on McLaughlin. Yes, McLaughlin. It's hard to say his name too. Yeah, a lot of names in the NFL have.
It's the mix.
Yeah, but yeah, McLaughlin. I think he's still going to keep that running back one position. Obviously, Javonte Williams. He got traded. But I think he's a very good RB2.
Yeah.
To see how he's going to do. I would love going to see him starting in the preseason. They're definitely going to start him, see how he does. You know what I mean? They're going to definitely start everyone. But I think he's going to be a good fit, and we need it. We need a good RB2 because Denver's always had that two running back duo. Not like big, not like Detroit. We all know Detroit's got the best duo running back in the NFL.
For me, it's more exciting because UCF is right around the corner.
It is. It definitely hits home a little bit.
And I have family at UCF, so it's like.
And we live here in Florida. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to see them coming from UCF in Florida where we live, and then going back to where I used to live and where we met and everything. It's cool to see, and hopefully he thrives there. You know what I mean?
I really hope he does.
It's kind of like
maybe not like the cold.
Yeah.
That's why I'm back in Florida. I could not do the winters in Colorado.
Yeah, but
maybe now because I'm over the heat. But
I think it's an adapt thing. But I think with football players, it's more adapting to that altitude, breathing and stuff like that. So I guess that's where Denver has their advantages at home.
Yeah.
For
sure.
So the other one, I think it was Omarion Hampton, North Carolina. Yeah. North Carolina. And he's going to the Chargers.
Yep.
I still don't think he might start.
I mean, as Harbaugh is the coach, Harbaugh did so well with college.
Yeah, but again, you're talking about transitioning players from. I mean, he was in football. NFL before.
Right.
So he was college, NFL. Jeez, now that I think about it, college, NFL, college, NFL.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's quite a resume.
Yeah, but I think Harbaugh knows what he's doing. I think he picked him for a reason, and I think he's going to fit in well under Harbaugh.
Yeah, I think he'll do good there too. I don't. Again, so like me personally, because I don't watch a lot of college, but I don't know too much about him. I know. Like I said, I dabble in a lot of college, but I do know a lot of players, but like, not too. I wouldn't say not too familiar of Marion Hampton, but
Yeah.
I think they need it. I think the Chargers definitely need it. It's someone they definitely need. Um, but another one, I guess this one here, Tyler Booker
Mhm.
from Alabama, going to the Cowboys. I think this is another good one.
I mean, the Cowboys need all the help they can get.
I knew she was giggling. She was going to make some kind of Cowboys joke. There was going to be some kind of Cowboys joke again.
They need all the help they can get. I
Listen,
think Booker is a great choice for them.
I know there's Cowboys fans out there, but me personally,
Sorry.
don't think they're America's team.
We got room on the Broncos roster for you.
Oh, for
their fans.
I'm sure we have room too to get rid of good old Mr. Holding.
Ugh.
Yeah, she likes him. That's her favorite player on the Broncos.
No, don't get me started with that man. Mr. Garrett Bowles, number 72. Please leave. Just go. Free agent. Goodbye.
He's still good. Pro bowler. He's still
He
good. I
costs
understand.
us so many penalties every year. Every time a flag is thrown, I'm like, let me guess, Garrett Bowles.
Yeah, that's true. It happens. But again, like I
He
said,
causes me so much anxiety.
I mean, but he's still good. And most of the time when there's not calls, he's doing his job. So, you know, that's usually how it happens. But again, Cowboys, I know everyone they get a lot of heat, but again, I still don't think it's your guys' year.
No,
It's not.
Sorry.
It's you guys have a lot of rebuilding to do, but I think you guys are definitely going to be good. And I say that with love because I know a lot of people that I know people that are Cowboys fans too. But I would love to see them be back to what they were and be America's team. You know what I mean? Personally, like I said, they just have a lot of rebuilding to do, and they're going to do it. And another thing, it's another controversial thing. I don't think it's going to be with Dak Prescott.
Mm-mm.
Prescott, I think, is just kind of,
He's
kind
of given up.
And almost, I don't think he's given up, but I just think he's comfortable. He's not. It doesn't look like he wants to put forth more of the work. You know what I mean? To do it, but he could prove everybody else wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
There's been a lot of players that have came back and just did absolutely phenomenal.
And there's been
And I would hope nothing but the best for them to do that. But again, I just don't see the Cowboys doing it.
Sorry, my allergies.
But I think they're going to have a good duo this year because they just got, I believe, George Pickens from the Steelers. That's going to be a good duo. So they you know what I mean. They just need a guy that's going to get them the ball.
Yeah.
Get it there well.
Yeah.
So another one is Mason Graham from Michigan, defensive tackle, one of the Browns. Another team that could use all they can get.
They did very well last year. Did they not?
They didn't do that. They did not do that. They did okay, but they did not. They did better than what they usually did, but they did not do that well.
No, I'm getting them confused with the Bengals. I don't know why. Both
the Bengals did good. Bengals made almost wild card, but we knocked them out with the whole Kansas City game.
Yeah.
They needed us to lose and everything, but Kansas City wasn't playing their starters. We already knew Denver was going to absolutely demolish them. We probably would have beat them even with their starters in, but that's just near there. Just another team I don't like, but it is what it is. But Kansas City, Kansas City got to give them their flowers.
Just too hyped, like too.
Remember the Patriots, same thing. Brady was playing,
yeah.
but they almost did a three-peat. They did good, but I don't think they were not beating the Eagles with the Saquon Barkley. That man is an absolute dog. Yes.
No.
That man, out of anyone there, but that man deserves his flowers. He's good too. Very humble guy.
Yep.
So I guess the last one would be we didn't talk much about Mason Graham in Michigan because he was pretty good in Michigan.
I think he was like the number 4 pick of the draft this year. He was really high up there, number 4 or 5.
Round.
No, first round.
4th or 5th pick. It might have been. I didn't watch too much of it. I know I watched.
He was in the first 10. I know that.
But I was out of town when I was working during the draft.
You were.
Yeah, so I was trying to watch it and work at the same time. It was kind of sucked. I didn't get to enjoy it.
I had to watch it solo.
I know I didn't get to enjoy it that much, but it is what it is. But I was in Dallas, so hopefully they can help raise their spirits.
You were in Dallas, weren't you?
Yeah, I was over by the stadium. Matter of fact. Okay, so yeah, I think he'll sit in well with the Browns. The Browns definitely need that defensive tackle.
Yeah.
They need that position filled. I think they're, they definitely need better on their defense. Like another thing, I think the Bengals are so good. They just need a defense.
Yeah.
They need a better defense because they allow so many points scored.
Right.
And because they're putting up so many points, if they can just dumb down, get their defense to kind of put a stop to that ball and quit that ball driving forward, getting points, they would be a 100% playoff.
Yeah.
Every year. 100% playoff team.
Joe Burrow's a hell of a quarterback.
Jamar Chase, you know, I mean, it's just ridiculous what they have. And
they have the weapons. They just need to use them.
Yeah, but they need the defensive weapons.
Right.
I think that's what they need. They need that, you know.
Right.
They definitely need it. And I think that's a good pick for them. Will Johnson for a cornerback for the Cardinals. For the corner for the net pass protection. What do you think he's gonna do?
I mean, I love Will Johnson. He's from Michigan.
Wait, man! I mentioned what's up with all these Michigan? They are good players though. They are good players.
I just love how Will Johnson is just like really fast. He's really fast.
Yes. Well, I mean, for play that cornerback position, you kind of have to be. It's kind of like Surtain, man. I mean, Surtain locked down the NFL
he's a ninja.
last year.
Like he's just.
Yes. I think there was only one player that he didn't lock down like that good.
Yeah.
Which was Jamar Chase when we played the Bengals. Other than that, but he still kind of locked him down. He wasn't the same old Jamar Chase from every other game where this, you know, he's getting like 1-2+ touchdowns a game.
Mm-hmm.
But Patrick Surtain locked down the NFL last year, and hopefully that's what Will Johnson will be for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
because they need it. You know, I mean, they now have these you know, offensive receiver threats. You know, they just drafted a new rookie. They just, you know, they had Harrison Jr. They have Harrison Jr. You know, they have the new receiver they just drafted, and I think with that cornerback position where they can lock down on the defensive side to where they're not going to get a lot of, you know, they can lock down weapons from other teams.
Yeah.
I think they'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've got some pretty good players that are coming out this year in the NFL.
You know, and that's the ones that we kind of, you know, and that's our list, the ones that we kind of, you know, looked at this year. I know there's far more.
I'm not saying they're going to be like breakout players, but I think those are definitely going to be the ones that
we think. Yes, it's the ones that we think that keep an eye on this year that I think will impact the NFL the most. And these were just our picks. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you guys have other picks and everything like that. So if you guys want to put them in the comment section too and say, hey, I don't think, you know, this player should be on here, but this player should. Hey, we'll take all the criticism. Okay, yeah. It's all, you know, we're not professional, but we love the game. We like
little trash talk.
Yes, and we love debates.
Yes,
especially this one.
All right, we've talked about the rookies. Let's talk about the ones that are already drafted in the NFL from previous years, who we think are going to have breakouts this year. I have one.
Okay.
Not to be biased, I think Blake Corum is going to break out this year.
Oof.
He started a little bit last year towards the end of the season. I think he's going to run for it this year, and I think he's going to have a heck of a year.
I like it.
He's from Michigan, by the way.
I know. She said biased. Okay, but I think he will have a good year, but I just do not see him starting over Kyren Williams, because Kyren Williams has been one hell of a player for the Rams, one hell of a running back. He's had breakout years every year. It's just so hard for that kind of a player to start. I think he'll get a better breakout year if he gets drafted somewhere else or gets that start. You know what I mean? He is a great running back. You know what I mean? He was for Michigan for years. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to start for Kyren Williams. It's hard. Even as a coach, you'd think, like, man, I would like to start this rookie I just picked up. You know, he's really good.
Right.
But Kyren Williams is just going off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's good. And it's hard to, you know. But, again, I hope he sees more touches this year.
Yeah.
I really do.
Definitely.
I hope Blake Corum sees more touches.
I love Blake.
Since we're on the bias train, I guess, you know what I mean? We might as well just start there, right? So if we're on the bias train, obviously Bo Nix, you know, he settled in well.
Oh, yeah.
He settled in well with Denver.
Especially towards the season.
Well, it was like it was first four games was shaky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then after that, he just sat in well again. I think he's going to be a great...
I mean, we made it to the playoffs.
Yes, first round, and then got demolished by the Bills, of course. But that was a hard team to beat. But again, like I said, I think we'll come back a little stronger this year. But again, I think Bo Nix very solid to look out for. And I'll put, even though a lot of people didn't like him last year, and again, I just talked about him a little bit ago with the Bears. Caleb Williams, I think he's going to sit in. Like, I feel like he got comfortable.
Yeah.
Now that he's comfortable, another team to look out for. I think another person to look out for. Maybe put him as a, you know, QB2, QB3. Some people keep, you know, QB3s on fantasy. But again, I say watch out for him too.
Yeah.
But again, even we, you know, about them, even these players with fantasy too. You know what I mean? Bo Nix, he got picked up out of nowhere. A lot of people, even in my fantasy, other people started picking him up
Right.
because he was putting up fantasy numbers, like good fantasy numbers, because he kind of settled in nice. Even with the rushing touchdowns and everything like that. Caleb Williams, the same thing towards the end, but I didn't see a lot of people picking him up. But I think next year with their schedule too, I feel like their schedule might be a little bit easier than last year. Last year they've had a pretty hard schedule,
Yeah.
and not to mention their conference is pretty hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think they will. I think Caleb Williams is going to be another one to watch out for. As in between the two quarterbacks, and they were rookies last year. Now when they're settling in, going in their second year,
Yeah.
I think they'll be pretty good.
Okay, so who's going to be what's your predictions for the Super Bowl this year? Who do you think are the two teams that are going to end up in the Super Bowl? Based on, obviously we have preseason starting tomorrow, but based on last year, based on who they've drafted, based on what we know up to this point, what is your prediction for the Super Bowl?
If I were to say prediction for the Super Bowl, I would say give me Bills Lions.
That's mine. 100% mine. I think
That's yours?
that was my picks.
I know it might be Kansas City. I just can't put
Drop your predictions in the comments.
I can't put that Kansas City in there just because again, I don't like Kansas City, but it's okay. I just don't think they are like last year. They were the best, if this makes any sense. They were the best worst team last year. Like as in like they barely won by the skin of their teeth, even against us and all these. I think the Panthers too. They barely.
I mean, they had the refs in their pockets, but
no. Well, besides the point, they were the best worst team last year. They were the best team. Like they're the best team, best record, but worst in performance. And worse than like they barely won by the skin of teeth. They lost on a blocked field goal or a missed field goal or or some fumble with the Raiders. The Raiders should have won that game. And we don't want to get controversial in here and all this other stuff. But again, that's my opinion.
I mean,
Raiders,
we are going to talk about bad calls throughout the season. Don't get us wrong, because there are some bad calls.
Yes, and I hate the Raiders. I hate the Raiders more than I hate Kansas City, even though I hate every single one of them.
Yeah.
Even the Chargers. But again, there were some things that shouldn't happen.
Pick. Yes.
Bills Lions.
Why?
Bills, because for one, I mean, in my personal opinion, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yes.
Personally.
I agree.
Besides, as in you want to say like rushing movement quarterback, Lamar Jackson, in my opinion. I just think Lamar Jackson just needs a little bit more weapons on offense to where he can pass to a little bit more. Someone that won't drop the ball, but we won't talk about who that was.
I just feel like every year the Bills inch closer and closer, and then they kind of choke a little bit. I think the Bills are hungry for it. I think they're coming this year, and they're going to dominate.
But now, if it comes to winning the Super Bowl, I would love to see the Lions. The Lions have the best squad right now. Personally, they have the best duo running back in the NFL. Absolutely best duo running back. Now, best running back? No, that would be
So the Lions are obviously my second NFL team. I go for the Broncos because I love my husband. And I like sleeping in our bed. But my dad was a Lions fan. My brother was a Lions fan. So that's my second team. Being from Michigan, the Lions are my second team. Aiden Hutchinson is back this year. And he is back and stronger than he was before he got injured.
Hopefully that ankle's stronger.
I love Aiden. Again, he's from Michigan. Yeah. So not to be a little biased, I'm excited he's back. I think with Jared Goff, the way he's been over the last couple years with them, inching them closer to the Super Bowl, I think they may have it this year. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
And it's kind of crazy to see how both those quarterbacks switch teams.
Yeah.
With Jared Goff and Stafford, and they both sit well in those teams.
Exactly.
It's actually a beautiful thing to see. And it's, Jared Goff, I think he's another good fantasy pick. I had him. Jared Goff, he's hit or miss sometimes, but he's more hit. I think he's a good quarterback. Stafford, you know what I mean? He's, I think, a little bit more miss than hit, but he's still a decent one to have if you don't have nobody, good one to pick up, if someone your injury happens on your fantasy. He's definitely a good person to pick up as well. But again, like I said with Bo Nix and Caleb, they're definitely ones to look out for this year and possibly put as a good backup QB as well to get you guys some fantasy points. But obviously we go with your good quarterbacks. Every one of your first picks, it's going to happen, like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. that, those are two in my fantasies. Those are the two that always go first, apparently.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Mahomes, and all that.
I
He's a
know
good
people
quarterback.
say not to pick your quarterback first in the league, but I always pick my quarterback first.
I don't, and that's a personal preference thing. But again, I just know
Or
more
a wide
people.
receiver.
I just know personal people pick receiver, running back, or running back receiver because those go fast and those produce majority of your points besides quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, and it depends on your league and how your league is. If it's a standard PPR and all those other things, and some people have getting more points for quarterbacks and stuff like that. But it just depends on your league.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of, you have yours coming up that you're going to be picking for soon.
That is a sleeper league. It's on sleeper, but it's a dynasty league. It's you keep your team for 4 or 5 seasons. You draft rookies and stuff like that. But you're stuck with your team.
He won
You keep your
last year.
team.
He got a pretty cool plaque.
Yes. Shout out to.
We should have brought it up to show.
So yeah, Midwest NATOs. That's our sleeper league with good old Joe, aka Wagger Toods, and Micah, his brother.
Love him.
Yes, love them to death. But again, we're this will be my 3rd year in the league. I think 3rd year. Yeah, because first year I lost, this year I won, and then this would be 3rd year. He's had it for about 5. I want to say.
And if they get an opening, I may join.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done league a few years. I won 1 year. I didn't win last year. I won the year before.
Yeah, on the regular fantasy.
I think it was the one we did with Caleb and them.
Possibly. Yeah, I know you did win one, yes. But yeah, so that's my picks for the Super Bowl. That's what I would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that can change. There's a lot of teams that can come up out of nowhere. There's a lot of plays in the off season where people drafted from each team or drafted free agents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, to be honest, if I were to say my two favorite running backs, I will say one running back that did win me my fantasy last year, which is Derrick Henry. Shout out to him because that man just took off in the playoffs and
Ravens, right?
Yes, and that man is 2 running backs in one. So if you want to say running back duo for the Detroit, he is the running back duo for Baltimore because he is two men in one. That man is an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And again, that's who I have on my sleeper league, and he will continue to stay there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's who I think is going to win the Super Bowl or
go
to the Super Bowl. But Detroit to take the win.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see that. It's been.
But again, I would not mind seeing Josh Allen get it because that man is absolutely deserving of it. And, that team, that organization is deserving of it. They've come a long way.
Absolutely.
That team has come a long way. And, Broncos deserve it too.
I mean, we've had one
just
in
being biased.
Years.
Yeah, it's been like 10 years. People don't think it seems like it was a lot closer, but it was 10 years ago.
Listen, we had so many rituals that year that we won the Super Bowl. Remember those?
Yeah. I had the beer bottle. I had to put the laces out.
It was a very expensive year for us. We were having Papa John's every Sunday because Peyton Manning was the spokesperson for Papa John's.
I think that was you thing though, because then her and the kids they like Papa John's and everything.
But we won when we got Papa John's, so we did it the following weekend, and we won. And
I'm pretty sure until we lost when we got it.
I think we did once, but we followed this ritual for weeks.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, it was.
It's a good year though.
It was. It was a
very
great
good year, and then
And it was the 50th.
And then after we lost Von Miller, and that kind of sucked. He went over to
Buffalo, and now he's.
And then we
free agent.
Then we actually lost Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace.
DT.
Yeah, that was one of our best receivers we had.
Yeah. Love that man.
Yeah.
Black and Decker.
Oh, him and
Eric Decker.
Yeah, it was a good
duo.
duo.
Too.
Yeah.
He retired from the Jets.
Yeah, that was a good duo. Good duo.
I just liked how they kind of named themselves after a toaster, Black and Decker, or
no, those drill.
Brand. No, Black and Decker.
Black and Decker is a drill. It's a home drill, like a home Black and Decker tools. Yes.
Oh.
It was like home tools.
Kitchen appliances.
When you bought Black and Decker, it was like tools for your wife at home. It wasn't
tools
for your man.
Right now.
That was like cheaper than Ryobi. You know what I mean? It's.
Anyways.
Yes. But yes, it was good. Good times. But again, that was 10 years ago, so it's over a decade. So we still kind of sulk about it a little bit, but.
Yeah. We had a good team then, but we're rebuilding. And sometimes it takes years to rebuild, and that's perfectly fine.
Exactly, just like we talked about leaving college with Michigan. I think they'll rebuild, and a lot of teams in the NFL are rebuilding, which is good to see. And it's good to see teams up there,
right,
that weren't there years ago when everyone was like, "Oh, Detroit, worst team in the NFL. The Browns, worst team, terrible team." And these teams are all coming back and being decent. Like even the Browns, even though they didn't have that good of a year, they're still coming back. You know what I mean? And you got to remember the Panthers. We played the Panthers in the Super Bowl, one of the best offensive, teams that year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Cam Newton left. Everything they just went downhill and became one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks to see, but it happens. You know what I mean? Teams like that, Patriots, same thing. They end up becoming one of the worst teams in the NFL, and it kind of sucks. It sucks to see, but it's good because it's changed. You don't want to see the same teams there every year.
Right.
Almost that's what sucks about college a little bit. You know what I mean? The Big Ten, you get like maybe one or two teams, obviously 2-3 teams possible, but it's always the SEC that's always there. It's always those teams that are always there. But again, those do bring good games. They're good games to watch. Very good games very entertaining. Very good games to watch.
The rival games are the best games to watch.
Rival games
for both college and NFL.
Yes. Especially
there's always fights. Always.
Especially them Raiders and Broncos.
Yeah. Especially Ohio and Michigan.
Yeah.
Those are big fights.
Yeah. Or it'll be a big fight if I go for Ohio State and.
We don't talk about that.
Well, this is the thing. If someone asks me and says, "Hey, who are you going for?" I'm gonna give my honest opinion, unfortunately, and even though it might upset her a little bit, but I'm gonna give you my.
I'm very fragile when it comes to Michigan.
I'm gonna give my honest opinion because it depends on how they're doing that year. The year you guys won, I said Ohio. We used to have the video from the camera, and I was petting the dog saying, "Pick!" And then it's kind of crazy because we actually do have a clip of it.
Yeah, we do.
And the dog is she's there, and she's a puppy, and I was petting her, and we had Ohio State fans at our house too, and I was like,
last play of the game,
and I was like, all right, pick, and I'm petting the dog. Come on, Sky, there's gonna be a pick, and then the next thing you know, everyone stood up, started screaming, there's a pick, and you heard the Ohio State fans, shut up, Nick, and it's hilarious.
He talked it into existence. Michigan won that game, so he got to sleep in the bed that night.
Yeah, but I was going for Michigan that night too, though, because
you were,
because even though I don't know like a crazy amount about college, I do know a lot. A lot. I would say I still do know a lot about college, but I know I'm not like super into college like I am in NFL. But I still know what players are on what teams where or how they're doing records. I still keep up on that. But it's what I mean. I'm not watching the games like when me and my buddies get online. We watch them. We get on there. Remember, we have like 4 screens pulled up and we're watching 4 games at a time because we are doing fantasy, we are betting, sports betting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's very, very entertaining because everyone likes the sports bet. You know what I mean? Not everyone, but it is very. Even she got hooked on it the last year.
I did.
But little minor bets, little minor parlays and stuff like that. I do little bigger parlays, but she's getting into it. She did a couple big ones. Yeah, she did, and she's getting a lot better at it. She won a couple.
Yeah.
I know I won like a. like a couple $100, something like that.
It was through Hard Rock Bets, right?
Yes, when they finally released it.
In Florida,
They finally released it in Florida, and that everyone just started betting like crazy. Everyone was, I'm Hard Rock Bet.
Yeah.
Because it was illegal in Florida for the longest time. I was using Bravado.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bravado. That's what I was using, was my sports bet app I was using before. So let's do for our last segment. How about this before we sign off here? Give me your top 7 teams from each conference.
Okay.
What you think is they're going to make, if prediction about making the playoffs. So AFC, give me your 7 teams, and then NFC, give me your 7 teams. So what's your AFC 7 teams?
Okay. First off, Bills, because they were my top pick for the Super Bowl.
Obviously, that's going to be a pick.
Yep. Ravens.
Okay.
They made it last year. I think they're going to make it again this year.
Okay. It's a good pick.
Broncos. I think Bo Nix is going to shine again this year, and with the weapons he has around him and our defense, I mean, we have one of the best defenses.
We can definitely make it to at least the first round or better, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate to say this one, but I have a feeling Chiefs are going to be back in it.
Of course, you already know it's going to be. I mean, you can't be too biased about the picks, but sure, of course they're there every year, so you gotta. If you wanted your picks or your prediction, the most of you're going to get right. So.
Yeah, that's what 4: Bills, Ravens, Broncos,
Chiefs. Yep.
All right, I'm going to go Bengals.
Good pick.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Definitely.
Good pick. Yeah, they almost got there last year.
Yep.
Barely got knocked out of the wild card. That's a great pick. Great pick.
Yep.
Okay. You want to throw us a Hail Mary?
Browns.
quite the Hail Mary.
I think the
Okay.
Browns. I
All
think
right. Yeah. And be crazy if you might get it right too. That's kind of wild. Browns is a crazy pick. Okay.
I could see the Browns, and
All right.
then I'm gonna go Texans.
Great pick. That's definitely a good pick.
Yep.
Yeah, because C.J. Stroud over there, he's doing things over there. And
Yeah.
Nico Collins, yes, they are doing. I think Tank
That's
Dell's
the
still there
deal.
too, but I know those two got hurt last year, both of them.
Yeah.
I'm
What
pretty
about you
sure.
for AFC?
AFC, obviously my top is going to be the Bills. Unfortunately, I can't go biased and say the Broncos right away, but they're definitely on that list. We'll do Bills. I do like Ravens. I like Broncos. Texans.
Mhm.
You did say some good ones in there. I don't know about the Browns one, but it's good. Goods.
I'm gonna laugh if they make it.
Texans. No, it was the Bengals. Bengals was a good pick.
Yeah.
Bengals was a good pick. I think I'm going to go a little off here though from the Browns. I think Steelers.
Okay.
I think that's going to be my Hail Mary, which is going to be the Steelers for the AFC.
Okay.
I do Steelers, then obviously we got to put, I'm going to put them bottom on my list because I don't like them. The dang Chiefs. We'll put them down there. Of course, they're going to make it, but
Andy Reid is a
I
hell
have
of
to
a
put,
coach, but
yeah, but I still have to put them at. And Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback.
He
You know
is.
what I mean? But again,
I
it's
do
just
think
on my
Travis
list.
Kelce's getting a little tired. I think it's time for
As
him to
in
kind of
team wise,
ease his way out.
I put them up there. But again,
Yeah.
I don't like them. Broncos fan. They're going to go on bottom of my list, but they're still going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're going to be at the bottom of the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. They're probably going to be up there, number 1, number 2 seed.
But that's just who we think is going to make the playoffs this year.
Yes, exactly. That's who I think for AFC. So now we both got our AFC. Obviously, slightly the same, except for I think 1 or 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
What is your NFC? This is going to be the good one. What are your NFC predictions?
Lions for sure.
Okay. Yep.
Lions for sure. Rams.
Rams. Okay.
Yeah, definitely think the Rams.
Okay. Lions. Rams.
The Bears. I'm going for the
Hey,
Bears.
I told
the
you.
Bears.
I did tell.
That's my
Watch
Hail
out
Mary.
for. That's your Hail Mary for. Okay.
Yep.
But definitely watch out for Caleb Williams this year. I think he's settled in, like what we talked about earlier. I think it's a decent pick for a Hail Mary. But again, I think they have a good chance of making the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I don't know about obviously winning it all, but again, I think they're, and who knows, that plus the surprises. Okay, so who do you got next?
I'm gonna.
So
I
you
think
have
the Eagles
3
are gonna
so
be
far,
back.
right? You have 3.
Yes.
You have Lions.
Lions, Bears, Rams.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then Eagles. You
And
just said
Yep.
Eagles. Wow, but yeah, that's got to be a given.
Yeah. Did you see those Super Bowl rings?
Yeah.
The wings that came
Yeah,
out.
beautiful
rings.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah, so
Absolutely beautiful. Very cool.
yes.
That the wings come out. Push a button.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. Eagles are gonna be back.
Okay, so that's 4.
They've got a pretty unstoppable team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Bucks. Baker
Bucks, that's
Mayfield
a
and Bucks.
Good pick. Mike Evans out there. They're doing things. They did
They're
things
finding
last
their
year.
groove. They
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, they moved around last year and
Yeah, they're Mike Evans. Obviously, I don't think he's retiring. I don't think he's ready to retire yet, but I think he still has a couple more seasons left in him.
yeah,
I
I do like
Chris-
the Bucks Stadium.
Chris Godwin, he's back. I mean, and another person. I will say that again. I'm gonna put that out there. He was a fantasy GOAT at the beginning of the season. He got hurt.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest losses last year. If I didn't lose Chris Godwin, I wouldn't have lost my other fantasy, not the regular fantasy play. 'Cause
Yeah.
I played 2. I played my dynasty and then I played regular. I wouldn't have lost that if he would have got hurt because that is their
That's
other
the
biggest
chance you
threat.
take with fantasy. Is you draft
Exactly.
these players. That's why you have bench players, and
Yeah, so you have
sometimes
backups.
those bench players don't perform as well as you want them to. But
Exactly, it happens.
it's all luck of the draw.
But again, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans over there, I think they're going to do great. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then last but not least, I'm gonna go Packers.
Packers, good. Yep. Jordan
I
Love,
can see the
Packers. I think they're gonna do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do well. Okay, I mean those are good picks.
Yeah.
Those are good picks. And then year 2, you said your Super Bowl. I think our Super Bowl prediction was the same.
It
Lions
was.
and Bills.
Yep.
Of course. We both would love to see them. That'll be mine as well.
I mean, we'd love to see the Broncos back in, but I think it's gonna be the
Well,
Lions.
of course,
and
I'd
the
love to
Bills.
see it, but my prediction as who's going to get it next year, I don't think the Broncos make it there. But
No.
I'm a team. I would love nothing more, and I would pray that the Broncos get there. But I don't think that'll happen because we're still in the kind of a midst of rebuilding too.
Right.
We just got some
Right.
good defensive players and everything.
Yeah.
So my NFC, mine I think will be slightly the same on some, of course, because it's going to be. You have your top teams that are up there that are really good.
Mhm.
I think obviously I'm going to go with Lions, Eagles, me top those first 2
Yeah.
off rip. After that, I can agree with Packers. Packers, I like Jordan Love over there. I think I'm gonna go Vikings. Vikings did pretty good last year. I just think they have I kind of like they're kind of like the Bengals to me. They kind of have that choke mechanic. You know, when it comes to they do great in the season and everything, but when it matters, they have that choke mechanic. They put up so many points, but they need a better defense. They need a team to kind of slow down the opposing team to where they can just keep putting those points up and just holding the offense, the other offense, the opposing offense, and they're not good at doing that. They give up more points. They gave up a lot of points last year.
Yeah.
But again, I think they're one of the teams that can make the playoffs next year because they're looking good over there.
Right.
Commanders.
Really?
Commanders, yes. Commanders did great last year. They had the best quarterback in the draft last year.
Yeah.
They did really well last year.
And that's
even over my Bo Nix. I have to give him the man his flowers. They had the best quarterback in the NFL last year. Rookie quarterback draft.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be Caleb Williams. I already knew that was going to happen. But again, Caleb Williams sat in nice towards the end. Took him a little longer than others, but he sat in nice.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Bucks.
Okay.
Obviously the Bucks. We just talked about them. Bucks, and then I will go Rams. I like the Rams as my last pick. So I think that'll be my 7 for the NFC.
Well, preseason starts tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot absolutely wait.
Regular season's a few weeks away.
Yep. Can't absolutely wait. And we can't wait to do all of our next streams with you guys every week. Get to talk about the following weeks from before and the upcoming weeks and
discuss bad calls, plays, crazy plays.
Yep.
Injuries.
Yep.
Predictions for next week's games.
Absolutely. And this
game day food, rituals, whatever you guys do on Sundays, share with us. Maybe it's something we want to start doing.
Yes. Give us your rituals, your what do you call it? I mean, that would be rituals, you know what I mean? Give us your phenomenons, or you know what I mean, what you like I do with the beers with the football.
The word totally just escaped my head.
Yeah. But again, just give us just give us your thoughts and comments of even on our picks for our 7 as well.
Yeah.
Give us your guys' thoughts in the comments of what you think our picks are bad or they're good, or which ones should be switched out with others. If you have your opinions on it, please feel free to give us your opinions in the comments as well. Absolutely. And this is like Christmas for me. This is my time of year where I know she likes the holidays, the fall and Christmas and everything, but this is football
season is the start of the holidays for me.
It is, and
it is.
I'm pretty sure the Broncos play on Christmas this year, which is awesome, very awesome. Awesome for me, and I hope it's a win. But even if we lose, we got to play on Christmas Day, and I love it.
Yeah.
Because I think a year ago we got
it fun to be a snow game too. I love snow games.
And I think a year ago we got kicked off of primetime because we were so bad. So it was a struggle year because when we played the Dolphins, we lost by like 60 points. It was a bad.
Ooh, real quick, shout out to my girl Whitney. She made me this shirt.
Oh yes.
She posted it online. I said, "Girl, I need to have that, especially for my podcast, football season." I did get a little bit of a bigger size than I'm used to because, I don't know, I just wanted to be comfortable. I like big baggy t-shirts sometimes, but if you're interested in shirts from her, Poppy Dukes, you can find her on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Yep.
And all of our handles will be at the end of the video. And if you want to follow us at the Gridiron Couple on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram,
we'd appreciate it.
We would appreciate it. And we love you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yep. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Hey, give me the chip. I need the championship. Wait, we got a dream next to the team. Yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ.